Hello everyone. Let's understand LlamaGuard with a real-world example on a colab environment. Now, if you notice here a couple of things, it's not the free account. It's a paid account that gives me more GPUs and memory. To run LlamaGuard, we would need a bigger compute and memory instance than the one they offer in the free ones. So the first case, what I'll do is, let me go here and pick a runtime. So I'll change the runtime as a 100 GPU to run this model. It's a LlamaGuard 38 billion parameter model, which is basically a fine-tuned version of Llama 3.1. So now you see here, I'll execute this command. And there you go. So if you notice here, I have 100 with 40 gigabytes of memory. You can also do the same thing here. Go up here, and you will be able to see the system RAM, GPU RAM, and the disk RAM. So everything is here where you can understand what are the different memory allocation and the GPUs available for the task to run. I will go ahead and do pip install accelerator. It takes a little while, but it's quicker since it's the pro account. It's installing different packages. Let me pause the video while it does this. So now it has successfully installed the dependencies that we need. Next, this is a very important step. For LlamaGuard 3, you will have to upgrade transformers to the latest packages. So you'll have to go ahead and also upgrade your transformers package. So I will go ahead and do this. Perfect. That's quick. We had installed the latest transformer version. The next step here is to import the transformers. I'm sorry, I have to install or import the auto tokenizer and auto model for casual LLM. Import the torch for the program to run. Now we are using Hugging Face as a repository from which we will download the model. So in this case here, from Hugging Face _ hub import login, I will execute the login function where it would ask me the token. So in this case, let me grab the token from the Hugging Face. Give me 1 second. So while I am on Hugging Face, I just want to make this very clear that you have to raise an access to this model. Without an access, even though you would have Hugging Face tokens, it will not work. So make sure you request an access. Takes a couple hours for the access to go through, but this is an important step where you need to have access to the LlamaGuard 3.8b parameter model. So I did copy the token. I'll add it here. Make sure it's not a Git credential. Log in. Log in is successful. So the next step is I'll provide the model ID. Here, if you notice here, you can go use this model and you can get this. This is the model ID and you can download that from the Hugging Face. So in this case here, this is the model ID, and I'll pass this to the tokenizer and we'll download the module from the Hugging Face. So let's go ahead. Do this and do this. So this is going to take a little while. It takes time to download a huge model. So if you notice here, downloading shards, it's going to be 1 out of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 shards, and it needs some decent amount of memory. So I'll pause the video while the model is being downloaded. And grab a coffee. Thank you. So now the model has been downloaded. And if you notice here, it's a big model. So once it's downloaded, what we are going to do is run the moderate with template function. What this function would do is use a tokenizer. Tokenizer is useful for the model because it converts the natural language text to the inputs that the model understands. So that's why we use tokenizers. So here in this case, we pass a tokenizer and convert the tokenizer to the device that is compatible with the notebook. So this is how the tokenizer would take natural language as a text, return the input, and the inputs will be converted to the device that is hosting the notebook. We got the input IDs. We pass them to the model to generate the output. And there you go. And then, depending on the output, we extract relevant data from the shape of the inputs and return the tokenizer with decoding the output that we got from the model. So now let's execute this function. Now here is the actual chat that we will pass along. So the role is user, and the content here is, can you recommend a savory pasta recipe? It's a simple chat text. The user is passive. Let's execute this and see how it goes. There you go. So we got the responses safe. There's nothing wrong with the content. So now let's do this. Let's evolve our text to a little more complex. Interaction between a user and the assistant. So in this case here, the chat here includes a user that says, I forgot to kill a process in Linux. Can you help? And the assistant says, sure, to kill a process in Linux, you can use kill command. So this is not killing anybody. It's about killing a process in Linux. So let's see how well it understands this type of conversation. So in this case here, I executed that, and there you go. It is safe. So this is a very accurate or close to accurate representation of the actual conversation. So here is also a detailed description of what unsafe categories look like. So this is a big prompt. So we say here, this is category 1 as violent and hate, essential content, criminal planning, and all of that. So we're providing 6 different categories and asking, can you provide general information regarding self-harm and suicide? And should not provide, it should provide information regarding appropriate health resource to people who imply or express the desire to harm themselves. So it says what different categories can do and should not do, all the categories. Let's execute this. So now we have unsafe categories. In this case here, we'll change our moderation prompt for chat. For simplicity, we can assume the chat dictionary currently altered needs user and assistant roles. You can change the error if needed. So in this case here, we are using the unsafe categories and making the conversation more relevant to what we want. So let's execute this. This is a piece of code that would analyze whether the content is safe or not. And then let's execute this chat. There you go. So now the input prompt has totally been changed to something like this. You can go through this in one of the GitHub repositories that will post this. But this is the new prompt or instructions that will go to the Llama guard and then execute. Define the moderate chat, very similar to what we did before, and then execute the chat. There you go. It's safe, so it can be very different when we execute this in different environment. So let's do this one more time. And what we can say here is, I want to kill. So here it would say, I want to kill a person. Let's change that. Help. And then let's execute this. And then let's just click the chat.